Hello students, today I am going to discuss the third derivation of your electrostatics first unit, that is electric field intensity due to a long, thin, uniformly charged wire or a conductor. So this derivation is done by using Gauss law in electrostatics. So I hope you know about Gauss law in electrostatics. What does it tell? The total electric flux through any closed surface is always equal to 1 by epsilon times the total charges present or enclosed by that closed surface. Whatever may be the shape of the closed path. That closed path may be, it may be triangular shape or a rectangular shape or a circular shape, but see here the total electric flux through that closed path is always equal to, it is always given by the value 1 by epsilon times the total charges present in that closed path. So let us consider a wire or conductor. This is the wire. This is the wire of length L. The wire is having a length L, fixed length L. See here, in wire or conductor, see we shall take this is the conductor or wire. So how the charge, see it is given, it is long, thin, uniformly charged. Charges are present in the wire. How the charges are present in case of a conductor or wire means here charges are present along the length of the wire or length of the conductor. So we find linear charge distribution in case of the wire. So here the specific name for charge distribution is linear density, lambda. Lambda equals to charge by length, right? Here lengthwise charges distribution takes place. So here charges are distributed like this. Charge distribution is a linear charge distribution. So charges are present along the length of the wire. So now let us take a point P. This is the point P. And imagine this point is at a distance of r from the wire. It is at a distance of r from the wire. So to apply the Gauss law in electrostatics, or see if you want to take Gauss law to any body, so then you must need a Gaussian surface. So if you draw a Gaussian surface around the point where you want to apply the Gauss law, then easily that Gauss law holds good for that point. So now it's time for drawing the Gaussian surface. So this is the Gaussian surface. This is the Gaussian surface. So here also I want to give a shape to the Gaussian surface. So here the Gaussian surface is like a cylinder, a hollow cylinder. So this is called Gaussian surface. Gaussian surface. Gaussian surface. So here see one thing, we shall divide the Gaussian surface into three parts. This is the first part, this is the second, top is first part, bottom is second part, point P, at point P you give third part. So here electric field is given like this, and see ds, surface area of the point P, surface area of the point P at P is of the point P is given along the direction of the electric field. So here it is the first part, it is the second part, and it is the third part. So here in first part, see in first part electric field and area vector are situated like this. So the angle between them is 90 degree. On the top and on the in the bottom, here bottom also, bottom surface also, here E into ds. So here also angle between E and ds is 90 degree. So Gaussian surface has three parts. How the electric field and the surface area of the Gaussian surface, they are arranged at part 1, part 2, part 3 means at part 1 90 degree, ಎರಡು ನಡುವೆ ಇರುವಂತ ಆಂಗಲ್ 90 ಡಿಗ್ರಿ, part 2 90 ಡಿಗ್ರಿ, part 3 ನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದೇ ಲೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದವ. E and DS they are acting along parallel lines, they are parallel to one another. Parallel ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸೇಮ್ ಲೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗೋದು. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಂಗಲ್ here theta will be equal to 0 degree. For this case theta equal to 0 degree, right? So consider a wire of length L. So consider a basic things you has to write. Consider a long, thin, uniformly charged wire or conductor. L is the length of the conductor. L is the length of the conductor, and T, see, L is the length of the conductor. L is the length of the conductor. Length of the conductor. Next one, P. P is a point. Where is P? A point at a distance of R. At a distance of R from the wire. At a distance of R from the wire. Right? Next one, see. Next what we should write is draw a Gaussian surface. Draw a Gaussian surface. Draw a Gaussian surface at point P. At point P. At point P. Draw a Gaussian surface at point P. Right? So see, Gaussian surface has three parts. Gaussian surface has three parts. What are those three parts? Part 1, 2 and 3. 1, 2 and 3. Right? So first thing, now we shall apply Gauss law to Gaussian surface. Apply Gauss law to Gaussian surface. Apply Gauss law to Gaussian surface, right? Gaussian surface. Apply Gauss law to Gaussian surface. See, Gauss law is given by electric flux, closed integral of E dot ds. See, directly we shall write the Gauss law. What is the statement of Gauss law? Mathematical formula of Gauss law statement is total electric flux is always equal to 1 by epsilon times the charges enclosed by that surface, right? So here total electric flux means closed integral of E dot ds. Closed integral of E dot ds. This closed integral means for this entire Gaussian surface. So Gaussian surface, S means surface, for the entire surface, E dot ds equal to Q by epsilon. This is the formula for Gauss law. So now see, we just wrote the formula of Gauss law here. So for us now we shall apply the same formula for three parts. When you write the same formula for part 1, part 2, part 3, what will happen here? See, this is for part 1, E dot ds plus for part 2, E dot ds plus closed integral of for part 3, E dot ds equal to Q by epsilon. Here see, the charge distribution is a linear charge distribution. So see, in case in a wire linear charge density in a wire linear charge density lambda equals to Q by L. Linear charge density lambda equals to charge by length. So from this formula we can write Q, charge equals to lambda L. So now you write the value of Q in the main formula, that is Closed integral for first part electric field into surface area. ಇದು flux ಇದೆ total electric flux ಇದು first part. For second part E dot ds plus for third part E dot ds equal to q by epsilon. Q is lambda L by epsilon. Q is lambda L by epsilon. So E dot ds, see, put E dot ds equal to vector E dot vector ds. ಇದು ಏನು ಬರೀಬಹುದು? A dot b ಇದ್ರೆ ab cos theta ಅಂತ ಬರೀತೀವಲ್ಲ. E dot ds ಇದ್ರೆ eds cos theta. eds cos theta. So now this formula becomes closed integral for first part E ds cos theta. Now you should not write vector symbol as well as dot in between E and ds. You should not write the vector symbol. ಈ vector ದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿ ಬರೆದಿದ್ದೀವಿ. eds cos theta plus for first part plus for second part eds cos theta plus for third part eds cos theta equal to what you should write now? Lambda L by epsilon. Lambda L by epsilon. Lambda L by epsilon. Right? So now it's time for thinking about theta. See, at parts 1 and 2, that is at the top and at the bottom, 1 and 2, theta is equal to 90 degree. Theta equal to 90 degree because electric field is perpendicular to ds. ds means what? Surface area. At parts 1 and 2, theta equal to 90 degree because electric field acts perpendicular to the surface area. Surface area of the this Gaussian surface, right? So electric field and surface area, they are perpendicular at part 1 and part 2. So therefore theta equal to 90 degree at part 1 and part 2. At part 3, theta equal to 0 degree. Theta equal to 0 degree because E is parallel to ds. E is parallel to ds. Parallel under them, they are acting in the same line. They are acting along the same line at part 3. So therefore here theta equal to 0 degree. Here first part and second part theta equal to 90 degree. So this equation becomes for first part eds cos 90 degree plus second part eds cos 90 degree plus third part means at point 3, at point B. We gave first part at the top, second part at the bottom, and third part at the middle. Middle means at point B. So here eds cos 0 degree. Cos 0 degree equals to lambda L by epsilon. Equal to lambda L by epsilon. So you know that cos 90 is 0. So first term becomes 0, second term becomes 0. The third term only remains here. Third part eds cos 0 degree is 1. Equal to lambda L by epsilon. So right. I hope you are understanding. So now next step is here. What is the next step? Now E into closed integral for third part ds equal to lambda L by epsilon. This close, see, for what you wrote here, third part ds, what it means? This is the surface area of cylinder. So here see this Gaussian surface, it is appearing like a cylinder. So ds means surface area of the cylinder. So surface area means 2 pi RL. For cylinder, surface area means 2 pi RL. So you substitute a closed integral of ds for third part as 2 pi RL. So E into 2 pi RL equal to lambda L by epsilon. L cancels. So E into 2 pi R equal to lambda by epsilon. So therefore finally E equals to electric field intensity due to a long thin uniformly charged wire is E equals to lambda by 2 by R epsilon. This is the expression, final expression, where lambda is a linear charge density, Q by L number. So R is radius, or distance, not radius, distance, E distance. Epsilon is permittivity of free space. See, next one is fourth one. Fourth one, I am going to tell electric field intensity due to an uniformly charged infinite plane sheet. So see here, this is the infinite plane sheet. Plane sheet means this is the uniformly charged infinite plane sheet and there. So here see here charges are present like this. Charges are distributed along the surface of the infinite plane sheet. Charges are distributed like this. So now let us take a point P here. This is the point P. Point P. So and imagine this is at a distance of R from center of the infinite plane sheet. Infinite plane sheet. So now we shall draw a Gaussian surface. So here there is no any particular shape we get for drawing Gaussian surface. So we just draw a surface with two end faces. So this is the Gaussian surface. This is the axis of the Gaussian surface. Axis of the Gaussian surface. So here also we can take point P. Point P. So here electric field is E. So and this is the third. See, we shall make parts. Part 1. This is part 1. Part 2. And here we shall take midpoint as the part 3. Part 3. Midpoint as the part 3. So one thing is here, see, here charge distribution is a surface charge distribution, because all the charges are arranged along the surface of the infinite plane sheet, surface of the plane sheet. So consider a plane sheet. Let P be a point at a distance of R from center of the plane sheet. So here first thing what we shall see, draw a Gaussian surface. So this diagram what we drawn here, this diagram represents a Gaussian surface. Draw a Gaussian surface from the point T, Next, Gaussian surface has 3 parts. Gaussian surface is divided into 3 parts. It has 3 parts. Part 1, part 2 and part 3. Part 1, part 2 and part 3, right? So now we shall apply Gauss law to the Gaussian surface. Apply Gauss law. Apply Gauss law to Gaussian surface. So to this diagram, to the three parts you apply Gauss law to the three parts, part 1, part 2, part 3. For these surfaces, now you apply the Gauss law. So Gauss law means see for part 1, E dot ds plus for part 2 E dot ds. Electric flux, the Gauss law means total electric flux equals to Q by epsilon. Here electric flux is given by the product of, it is the dot product of electric field and surface area. Right? Why we are writing this closed integral means? Because here infinite plane sheet is, consisting of surfaces, three surfaces. So a Gaussian surface has three parts actually, part 1, part 2, part 3. So to highlight the part 1, we are taking closed integral of part 1 E dot ds plus closed integral of part 2 E dot ds plus part 3 E dot ds equal to Q by epsilon. So here see for plane sheet, surface charge density sigma. Here surface charge density, because charges are arranged in surface charge distribution. Surface wise charges are arranged here, so that charge distribution is given by surface charge density sigma, and that is given by Q by S. Here S is surface area. S means surface area. So we can write Q equal to sigma S. So now this equation becomes closed integral of first part E dot ds E vector plus dot ds vector, for second part E dot ds plus for third part equal to Q means sigma s by epsilon. So put E dot ds equal to vector ds equal to eds cos theta, right? eds cos theta. So for first part we get eds cos theta plus for second part eds cos theta plus for third part E dot ds is eds cos theta. A dot b idre ab cos theta ಅಂತ ಬರೆದಿದ್ವಿ, equal to sigma s by epsilon. So now at part 1 and 2, here at part 1 E and ds they are parallel. Electric field and surface area. At part 2 also E and ds are parallel. Here E and ds are perpendicular. The infinite plane sheet alli see how the electric field and surface area they are acting means at parts 1 and 2 E is parallel to ds. Where at parts 1 and 2. So therefore theta equals to 0 degree for 1 and 2 parts, first and second parts, right? At part 3, that is in the middle of the infinite plane sheet, here E is perpendicular to ds. Here E is perpendicular to ds, therefore theta equal to 90 degree. Therefore theta equals to 90 degree for part 3. For part 3. So now this equation becomes closed integral of first part EDS cos 0 degree plus for second part also theta is 0 degree EDS cos 0 degree plus for third part EDS cos 90 degree equals to sigma s by epsilon. Right? Cos 0 degree is 1 EDS plus here for part 2 also theta is 0 degree, third part 90 degree 0, sigma s by epsilon naught. So now E into closed integral of first part ds plus E into closed integral of second part ds equal to sigma s by epsilon. So now we shall think what may be the surface area of first part and second part. See here, first part means this is surface, second part means this is surface. So here closed integral of first part ds equal to closed integral of second part ds. It is taken as surface area of end faces, that is S, because it is not matched with any rectangle or triangle or square or circular shape. So we just take surface area of these two parts as S, right? So E into S plus E into S equal to sigma s by epsilon. ES plus ES equal to sigma s by epsilon, right? ES plus ES 2ES equal to sigma s by epsilon. So here S cancels, therefore E equal to sigma by 2 epsilon. This is the expression for electric field intensity due to uniformly charged infinite plane sheet, where sigma is a surface charge density, epsilon is permittivity of free space.